you sick of looking at Netflix and you don't know what to watch?
So many movies out there, you don't know which ones are good, which ones were bad.
You curious about what's out there?
I'm Joey Powers.
I'm Don Tretler.
This is the best pictures.
The ones you don't want to miss.
Hit it.
Say hello to my little friend.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Winners go home and prom queen.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I don't deserve this. Deserves got nothing to do with it. No sequel for you.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Best Pictures. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
And I'm Don Tretler. Welcome to the show.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
Iconic movie characters. You know, I mean, Colin mentioned Jack Sparrow. I haven't seen a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean, so I don't know, but apparently he is pretty iconic. They've had, what, like 5 movies?
Yeah.
5 or 6 movies, and they make a ton of money, so probably, Colin's going to come in and lecture me on something.
And if you showed somebody a picture of him, they would be able to identify him by name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if we haven't seen the movies.
Yeah. I mean, Johnny Depp's just, I mean, he's an icon pretty much. Anyways, some of the roles, I mean, a lot of people think of The Fingers.
Oh, Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I think that's a very iconic character. Another one, though, that I haven't seen. But going through this, I noticed that there are a few actors, I would say, that have very iconic roles. And I just happened to go through it. What do you think the highest rated movie Jack Nicholson was in on IMDb?
The highest rated movie?
Yeah.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes. Second, which really surprised me, really absolutely surprised me, and I disagree 100%.
Second Jack Nicholson movie. As good as it gets. I don't know.
The Shining.
The Shining.
Over Chinatown.
I know. Shining is rated higher than Chinatown?
Yeah, 8.4.
I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble with...
He had a lot of 7.7s and 7.9s, but he only had 3 over 8. And those were the 3 that were over 8. And I was surprised, because I don't know if you recall, he mentioned A Few Good Men. And I liked A Few Good Men better than The Shining. I know you weren't a big fan of The Shining.
No, I'm not. I even tried to watch it again, probably the 3rd or 4th time in my lifetime, and
I think you like the documentary about The Shining more than you like The Shining.
Something's not right about it. It's not Jack Nicholson. The problem about that movie is not Jack Nicholson, or even really, it's not the actors. I mean, I think I might not.
Shelley Duvall, is that her name?
Shelley Duvall, yeah.
I didn't care for her. I liked The Shining. I didn't like it as much as people on IMDb apparently liked it. I would say I thought As Good as It Gets is better. I think A Few Good Men is better. I certainly think Chinatown is better.
Right.
So I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because obviously a couple of my characters are Jack Nicholson's character. And the first one that I had was Randall McMurphy from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Right.
And the reason I bring that up because he may not even be the most iconic character in that film. I mean, Nurse Ratched.
Right.
I mean, how many people... what has Louise Fletcher been in that you can think of other than that?
Flowers in the Attic is the only thing that comes to mind.
Which was a pretty iconic character as well. But I mean, it's like, she was in 2 Days in the Valley. I think that's the only other movie other than Flowers in the Attic I've seen her in.
Right.
But she won an Oscar for that, and that's... To me, I think that's what she's known for. But other than that, she's really a relatively unknown actress.
And probably was before that.
Exactly. I mean, I haven't looked her up on IMDb, but I don't think she was like a household name ever.
Right.
And she just, that one, and she was vicious.
Excellent.
She was so vicious. It was to me, it was like Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. I hated him so much. And that's how she is. She's just, like the whole part where they're voting to try to get to watch the baseball game. It doesn't matter to her. She just closes the discussion, that's it. And it just, I don't know.
Now, was this, I've seen they've done a stage version of it. Did the stage version come out? Did they do that before they made a movie out of it?
I don't know. I didn't even know they did a stage version, to be honest with you.
because I think I heard about that movie that Michael Douglas had bought the rights to produce that movie. So he
Yeah.
had that movie on a shelf
Yep.
for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that was his. Michael Douglas has 2 Oscars, and that was his first one for being the producer of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But yeah, young Danny DeVito, Christopher Lloyd. You know, it's a fun movie, but Jack Nicholson,
Right.
I just, you know, like I said, Nurse Ratchet's great, and Jack Nicholson.
It's
is just,
Jack at his best.
It is. I mean, it's Jack in his prime. You
And
know,
he's probably got, like, we could probably name like 6 roles that he just chewed up the screen. McMurphy,
Yeah.
like you said.
Jake Gitz, who's also on my list, that we probably won't get to, but I mean,
Yeah.
in Chinatown, you know, so I mean, it's, yeah, and like,
the guy from The Shining.
yeah, I don't remember his name though.
I think it was Jack.
think it's Jack,
'Cause Jack
yeah.
makes a dull. Makes dull? What is it? Is a dull boy something like that? He's typing it
Yeah,
over and
yeah,
over
yeah.
again.
And his character in A Few Good Men, Colonel Jessup, you know, very good character. All right, well,
Well, cool. I'm gonna go off that a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
An actor who can do the same type of thing, who chews it up and many times has been able to create an iconic role. Don Corleone.
yeah, I have him.
All we have to do is see him, and we know exactly who it is. People who
Yeah.
haven't even seen the movie know Don Corleone.
I knew that was going to be one that we both had. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a couple more, but yeah. I mean, that's just,
And he's done it before. He did it with, Streetcar Named Desire,
right, Stanley Kowalski or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
but which I wouldn't have used because we're talking films, and basically he did that on Broadway too. So before,
Right.
so but the role itself he made iconic. And I always think of Terry Malloy from
I'm
I'm drawing a blank.
I don't
man.
know who you're
I
talking
can't
about, to be
believe
honest
it.
with you.
No, oh man, it's the one about he's working on the docks. I could have been a contender. I could have been someone instead of a bum, which is what I
yes.
am. Let's face it.
Yes, I don't-
You was
I
my
can't-
brother, John.
Yeah, I can't think of the
On the
I think-
Waterfront.
On the waterfront, he won Best Actor for that.
Yeah.
And I think that won Best Picture as well.
Oh, I don't
Right?
know.
I think it did.
I'm thinking it might have lost to Marty that year.
Oh, really? That's rough.
What did Ernest Borgnine win? I don't know. Something along those lines. But I mean, I think Don Corleone. If when we think of Marlon Brando, that's what we think of Don Corleone,
Absolutely.
even more than the other roles.
And it's like it's something that we've talked about multiple times. Like there's just certain roles you don't even want to try. You know, like you can't duplicate that.
Right.
Like no matter what. I mean, even The Godfather 2 was good. The Godfather 3. But it's like you can't replace that character because he just nailed it out of the park, 100%.
I have a couple of characters, iconic characters, or a couple of actors who've created 2. Well, we're talking about a couple of guys that could, Marlon Brando and
Jack Nicholson.
And Jack Nicholson. I have a couple of other guys that have done it multiple times.
Oh yeah, I mean
So what does that mean? Does that make him a good actor that they've created it, or is it the writing that somebody wrote these great parts?
or even at another level, is it they're choosing the right roles? Like, I mean, there's certain, like Nicolas Cage, at one point, he was in like 6-7 movies a year. It didn't matter. It was just a paycheck for him. And some of these other guys, another reason I actually wanted to mention Jack Nicholson was, guess what the last movie he was in was?
Oh wait, I should know this. I'm trying to think of what it was.
I was shocked. Not only what it was, but how long ago it was.
Yeah, I know it was a long time, and he's supposed to be in development for
How do you know?
Tony Erdmann.
2010. How do you know?
That's the name of the movie. How
Yeah.
do you know?
9 years ago.
What is that movie?
It's Reese Witherspoon, Owen Wilson, Paul Rudd, Jack Nicholson. It's I think it's a Albert Brooks movie or James L. Brooks movie.
Oh wow.
I think Owen Wilson's like a pitcher. I haven't seen it. I've only seen like bits and pieces of it. I was just
I'll write it
looking
down.
up.
I got to see it.
But
Jack
by the way, On the
Nicholson.
Waterfront did win Best Picture.
Oh,
It won 8 Oscars actually. Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress in the Supporting Role. Won a lot. Gets 8.1. Seems kind of low for a movie that won that many Oscars.
should be.
But yeah, I 10 years since he's been in a movie. I mean, it seems like The Departed wasn't that long ago. And you
Right.
look at it, it's 13 years since that movie came out.
I know.
It's like
Time's flying.
Time is flying.
We better make the most of of our lives. I start thinking about that myself. I better stop watching crap movies and only watch good
Exactly.
stuff.
Maybe we should watch the bucket list.
Well, that's why I've been going down this list, the IMDb list, and I knocked one off recently. I knocked off The Pianist. So now one of the next one, well, there are two silent movies, City Lights and Modern Times, which I think are both Charlie Chaplin movies.
I will never watch either one of them. You know that.
And then Whiplash. Have you seen
I
Whiplash?
want to see Whiplash.
Whiplash is next. We
Colin,
gotta
have
see
you seen Whiplash? Do you have any idea what Whiplash is about? You do? Okay.
Maybe I gotta buy it so we can watch it.
So, a movie that we should kick off our bucket list is Joker. Because I think we're all going to go see it this weekend. So maybe Saturday night. I don't know what you're doing or not. It's going to be a late showing, probably 9 o'clock.
And it's gonna be here in town.
No. We'd have to travel.
We're not getting the Joker?
I saw it today, and then we're not. They got Abominable for at least 2
A
weeks.
second week.
Yeah. And it didn't even make that much money.
Oh
It's like,
my word.
I don't know what happened.
It didn't get good write-ups?
I called this as soon as I saw that movie in there last Friday.
You
I don't
called
know if I
it?
said to Alex or who. I said they got another one of those stupid animated movies
That they're
going
gonna have to
for
carry
at least
over.
2 to 3 weeks.
Which is why they didn't get Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for a while.
I mean, to be fair, that's where the money is. But
Well, you gotta
frustrating
time
for
it.
me. I like good movies, not kids movies.
You gotta time it. You gotta time it right so you can get the right movies.
Yeah.
Wow, that's too bad.
It is too bad because
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm doing the half marathon. The Front Porches half marathon.
Is that Sunday?
on Saturday.
Oh, on Saturday. Well, you'll be all rested and ready for a nap.
After 13 miles, I'm gonna be a puddle. I'm not counting on doing anything Saturday.
The write-ups and the reviews are just amazing for Joaquin Phoenix and the film itself.
Right.
And I'm a big Joaquin Phoenix fan, and I'm a huge fan of the Joker character in general.
I don't know if you know what? I don't know if I would be that excited, and I don't know if I would go if it wasn't Joaquin Phoenix.
And it's
'Cause I
just
do like
weird
him.
that Todd Phillips is directing it. Out of nowhere. The guy that directed friggin' Road Trip, Wedding
Yeah.
Crashers. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just strange. But the reason we ultimately decided to do this was last week we were talking about Rocky. And that's a character that you hear that, you know what it is. That's what makes it iconic. You know, it's like, or Adrian, you know, any one of those things. It's like, you know, you're talking about the movie Rocky or any of the Rocky movies.
Right.
You know, he's just such a very iconic character. And I don't know, something about Stallone, he's just so likable. You know, I mean, I don't know what it is. He plays like the perfect, like, loser, I guess, lack of a better word. I mean,
Right.
you know, he doesn't really have much of a life. He's like a hire for money kind of thug, so to speak, where, you know, and he just falls in love with shy, quiet Adrian. You know, he's got his fish or what? Coffin Link. You know, very simple guy, very simple-minded, very simple life. And he just gets a shot, and it's like, I don't know, it's described as like the ultimate feel-good movie. I don't know, like, as far as sports are concerned, what do you think is more, that or Hoosiers?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'd say equal.
That's
Rocky's fantastic.
They both are. It's like, it's the ultimate, like, I mean, even Rocky, for the 5 people in the world that haven't seen it, he loses. But he goes the distance with Apollo Creed, who's definitely by far the champ. And it's just like, even though he loses, he wins because he gets Adrian, you know, and he's like, Adrian, I love you. And they hug in the ring and stuff. And you just got the music in the background and the crowds everywhere going nuts because they can't believe he just went 12 rounds with the champ. They're like some nobody from their town. And now all of a sudden he's fighting on the biggest stage. You know, it's something that's very likable to me.
And even the sequels. I mean, think about it. I mean, Rocky 2 was still, it's a very watchable movie.
And
it's a rematch.
And
it's
he wins.
a rematch.
He wins. You know, he finally gets the championship.
And then Rocky 3 has to fight this brutal guy.
Clubber Lang.
Clubber Lang.
Hulk Hogan.
Number 4, he has to do the Russian. You will lose.
Ivan Drago, who kills Apollo. Have you seen Creed 2?
No, I haven't seen Creed 2. I saw the first Creed.
Because in Creed 2, I haven't seen it either, but in Creed 2,
he gets killed by a Russian?
No, he fights Drago's son. So I don't know. Maybe he does get killed by a Russian.
I guess we should watch it.
I know. I have it at home. I just haven't watched it.
They're good, and you know, most of them are pretty good, though. You said you saw
5
the one
was
with-
terrible.
5 is horrible.
5's terrible. It's Tommy Machine Gun. Rocky's like his promoter, and then there's like a Don King imitator that kind of steals him from Rocky. It's just a bad movie.
And what's that one called?
Rocky Five.
That's Rocky Five.
Not very original.
Then there's another movie called Rocky Balboa.
Rocky Balboa.
How's
And
that?
It was better than Rocky Five. And actually, they showed it. Sylvester Stallone was promoting it on ESPN, and they showed it, and I instantly wanted to go see it. Just because, the build-up, the trailer for it was just like, Rocky, I want to go see it because I love these movies.
Right.
And, it was, I wonder what it gets on IMDb.
We love Stallone, and we're not embarrassed to say it. Both of us. I really do. I've liked him in movies that weren't even big movies,
Did you see the one with him and De Niro? The boxing one with him and De Niro? Grudge Match?
I did. You got it.
Yeah,
You lent it to me.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, I liked it.
Good supporting cast with, Alan Arkin and Kevin Hart. They put jokes out on each other and stuff like that. It was a pretty good movie.
He's almost, well, and we're talking about Stallone too, and he's got a new movie out. He's got what, Rambo 5 or something?
Yeah, Last Blood, I think it's called.
I read the reviews of it were horrible. Gave it like 1 star.
Rocky Balboa got 7.1. It's watchable.
Wow. 7.1 is more than watchable.
That's pretty high for a Rocky movie.
The new Rambo had some political issues, according to what I read online.
Political issues.
Colin, are you judging us right now?
No, I'm saying it might be underrated.
It might be an underrated movie.
Because it's Rambo, whatever, but
yeah,
had some political issues.
So that could be part of it.
Why people aren't going to see it.
Right. Well.
So the original Rocky 8.1.
Yeah. It's up there. It's up there as one of the greats.
Now that we're talking about it, I want to see what Hoosiers gets versus...
I have a son. It's like I definitely tell him, you got to see Rocky.
Oh, absolutely.
It's got to be on your list. Movies to see.
All right, what do you think's higher? Before I look at it.
What's that?
Rocky or Hoosiers?
Oh, Rocky.
I'm going to say Rocky's probably higher too. Yeah, 7.5 for Hoosiers. So I think they're a little closer than that. I don't think they're much...
No, they're both really tremendous movies.
Absolutely worth watching. Who's next on your list? I
mean,
we
talked about 2 characters for him. He created Rocky and Rambo.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think he's an underrated actor. I think at some point, he did this movie, and the movie went off, and I went to see it at the movie theater, Copland.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to be, here's Stallone, he's acting, he's got this great straight part, but it was a supporting role. And somehow the movie stopped mid-thing. I've never seen the whole movie of Copland.
I liked it.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see him get a chance.
And a
to
great,
do some decent
great
movies.
cast. Absolutely great cast. I mean, him, Ray Liotta, Michael Rappaport, Robert De Niro. I think Harvey Keitel might be in that. Nah, maybe not. But
all right, here's another iconic character, Dirty Harry.
Oh, how did I not write that? I don't have Eastwood on here. I don't know how I missed that.
Go ahead, make my
Exactly.
day, right?
I mean, you want to talk about someone who's had many iconic characters. I mean, I didn't like the movie, but I think a lot of people would say his character in Gran Torino.
Yeah.
For when he's like, get off my lawn and just,
oh, yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people felt like that was his, I don't know, I wouldn't say final hurrah, but that was his last great.
Did you see this last one? What was it called?
The Mule?
The Mule, yeah. No, I haven't either. I wanted to.
I do too, but
He's another guy that I'd love to watch anything. He also had another iconic character, which was the Man with No Name.
I haven't seen that.
It was part of the trilogy.
Oh,
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly,
and
Hang 'em High, and I think it's for a few dollars more. I think maybe I'm off, but there were three of those Sergio Leone spaghetti westerns, and that character became an iconic character.
What about the Outlaw Josie Wales?
Yeah,
that was pretty iconic. I feel. I haven't seen that since.
You gotta get mean. I'm talking plumb mad dog mean.
Now I like Dirty Harry a lot. He didn't get recognition for that as he has for other movies. He's never won an Oscar for acting, but he won for The Unforgiven. He won director in picture, and then he won for director in picture for $1 Million Baby. I didn't like either one of them.
Really?
I didn't.
Wow.
They're of all his movies, those might be 2 of my least favorite Clint Eastwood movies. I really liked him in Trouble with the Curve. You
did?
He's just good at being a grumpy old man.
Oh, he was
miserable.
Wicked grumpy
he
guy.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in Gran Torino as well, but I mean, it's At some point, is he acting or is he just being Clint Eastwood at this point? Because he is an old man, so. But yeah, I just the two movies that he's gotten the most recognition for, I didn't care for. I really thought $1 Million Baby. I was disappointed.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd love to watch it again. I remember really liking it.
I liked the cast. Oh, I'm sure it's gotten really high ratings.
And what happened to that actress?
Hilary Swank, she kind of fell off the face of the earth after that.
She was like nominated for Academy Awards.
She won. She has 2 Oscars for Best Actor. She won for that. She won for Boys Don't Cry, Girls Don't, whatever.
Boys Don't Cry.
Yeah.
Where is she?
I have no idea.
She's a great
That's a good
actress,
point, 'cause
obviously.
I haven't seen her in anything recently. But
No.
she is obviously a very good actress. If you won two Oscars, I mean, yeah. See, $1 Million Baby gets an 8.1. And what do you think?
I would agree because
Yeah.
I really like it.
See, I would say maybe low 6, like 6.1, 6.2. Like,
It's got what? It's got Clint Eastwood at his best,
and Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman won his only Oscar for this.
Oh, I want to watch it again right now.
And Eastwood, like I said, won director and picture, and she won Best Actress.
I need to find a job as a movie critic so I can watch movies all day long. That's all I want to do, people.
Or if we could just get Alex and Colin to start paying us. You do this every night.
No kidding.
You know? So yeah, it won 4 Oscars, like I said, director, picture, actress, supporting actor. I mean, those are pretty big awards.
Right.
You know.
Did we get timed out?
Yeah, we're getting down there. I'm not surprised. I mean, when I did my list, I was like, this is going to be like 3 or 4 weeks worth of stuff, just because I know how we get going and talking about stuff. One that I did want to mention that, or do you? Are we?
No. You better go because I'm looking. I have mostly crap left over.
I mentioned Tommy DeVito, and Alex is like, "Who's that? Do you know who that is?"
Tommy DeVito.
It's Joe Pesci's character in Goodfellas.
Oh.
Everybody knows him as Tommy. Nobody knew. I had to look up his last name. I had to go on IMDb. What an iconic character that is, though. Utah? No, what is it? What's the scene with him in Ray Liotta?
You think I'm funny?
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm a clown?
I was about to bust.
I amuse you?
Yeah. I'm here to amuse you. It's like, Tommy, get out of here. You know, I just that is such a great scene, and just so many. I don't know. He just. I don't know. What? It's De Niro. It's Paul Sorvino, Ray Liotta. What's the actress's name? I can't think of her name at the top of my head.
Oh, she was on
The Sopranos.
The Sopranos too. Yeah.
But I mean, he dominates all of that movie over any of the other actors, and that's a talented cast, and that's arguably maybe to me Scorsese's best picture. I mean, I know you're not big on Scorsese, but
I don't know. Now that I've gone through, I went through the list of Scorsese movies, and now maybe I'm wondering if I better back off. Maybe I shot my mouth off.
He's
and
a
I shouldn't
legend.
have.
I mean, and The Irishman's coming out in like November.
Is it going to Netflix, or is it going to theaters?
I think it's going to theaters. But he's a bad guy, obviously. I mean, he's a murderer, but he's just a likable character. He's funny. You know, it's like he just cracks jokes, even when he's like picking on the owner of the bar that they're at. You know, like the people that aren't with his like crew are laughing at him being mean to this guy because he's just so like, I wouldn't say over the top, but just he just owns that movie. It's that one role that, I mean, I think my cousin Vinny, he's great in too. Like he absolutely owned that, but just I couldn't imagine like we talked about before. I can't imagine anyone else playing that role.
No, right. He owns it.
He does. And that's like, I mean, that only won 1 Oscar, and it was him for Best Supporting Actor. But it's like, that's one of the best mob movies ever. I liked it better than The Godfather. You
Wow.
know? I mean, I like The Godfather, but Goodfellas might be my favorite mob movie of all time. You know, it's just, I don't know if I've just, because I've seen it more, or I saw it when I was older as opposed to when I saw The Godfather, but I liked it better. You know, I mean, obviously, I don't think most people are going to agree with me because they're going to say The Godfather is probably top, 3 movie of all time. I know it's number 2 on IMDb.
Exactly.
Behind The Shawshank Redemption, which we still don't get that. But
I don't know. I watched Shawshank Redemption again.
It's up there.
And there's just like, it's a beautiful movie. There's
is.
nothing wasted in that movie.
No.
And it's...
But how is it number 1? It wasn't even the number 1 movie the year it came out. It wasn't. Pulp Fiction is better than The Shawshank Redemption. I think most people would agree with that. Just not on IMDb, I guess. I think we're pretty much out of time, though.
So Ratatouille. So we can come back to this. At some
Oh,
point.
yeah.
I had a few, but I don't have anybody. I think I got some of my big ones off.
You know what else we got to do? Is we've been doing names from a hat, but we also need to get back to movies that Colin should
Movies for
watch.
Colin.
Yes, because I still have a bunch on my list.
But I forgot which ones we told him.
I have my list and I've crossed off what we talked about, so I know mine.
I better look for
So.
my Colin list here.
All right, so Colin, that's what we're gonna plan on next week. Movies for Colin.
I think that might have been.
Yeah,
my
that probably
Colin
is
list.
it. So, all right, well, this has been our latest episode of the Best Pictures. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Powers.
I'm Don Tretler. These are the ones
You don't want to miss. And remember.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Here's Johnny. Go ahead. Make my day.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.